exercise reasonable care in treating patients. For establishing negligence on the part of the doctor, the test is whether the doctor has been proved to be guilty of such failure, which no doctor of ordinary skill could be guilty of acting with reasonable care. To establish negligence, it must be proved that there is a normal practice which is applicable to the case, the defendant has not adopted it, and the course taken by the defendant is one which no man of ordinary skill would have taken if he had acted with ordinary care. Law imposes a duty of care to everyone to conform a certain...
Counsel should certain knowledge of any layperson. It was one thing. But you yourself are professionally qualified doctor. So it should be assumed that you knew what is the level of the dosage, whether it's the right injection or not. You are not a layperson, are you?
The respondent doctor, it was the duty of the doctor to check if the injection was right and if
ultimately first sir is asking your wife is as your doctor. Don't evade the questions. Right? You proper respond, either do you know, you don't. Because this is your case. This is your case, you are here for compensation, and sir is asking some certain questions. Please respond.
Very tense when she suffered heavy pain and many other symptoms. So at a situation of stress and tension, she consumed more amount of medicines, and later on when she approached the doctor was expected to treat and diagnose how much of drug was taken by the patient and what other medicines were taken by the patient, Your Lordship. Does that satisfy your question, Your Lordship? Much obliged, Your Lordship. If Your Lordship permit, may I please proceed with my arguments? Much obliged, Your Lordship. Law imposes a duty of care to everyone to conform a certain standard of conduct for the protection of others. To establish liability in negligence, the defendant must owe a duty to the plaintiff. The duty of a medical practitioner arises from the fact that he does something to a human being which is likely to cause physical damage unless it is done with proper skill and care. In the case of Achyutrao Haribhav Kaur versus State of Maharashtra, it was stated that a medical practitioner has various duties.
What is the citation? Supreme Court report, it's a Supreme Court or it's a High Court judgment?
Supreme Court judgment.
So which year it was reported?
The council is not aware of the council.
Then when you cite any case, you have to say which year, like Supreme Court 2002, page 323, volume 1. Like that. Anyway, please go ahead.
May the council proceed with the arguments?
Yes, please. You will like, for the benefit of the judge, you will like to give the basic facts. Very briefly.
Your Lordship, in this case, Dr. Rohit and Dr. Tamanna, they were working together in a medical college, and they got married, and Dr. Tamanna was in the 8th month of her pregnancy when she consumed, when she faced a sort of problems, and she consumed a painkiller for that. When she didn't get any relief from the same, she again consumed a second painkiller, and immediately after that she started with vomitings, and she wasn't feeling well. Therefore she called her husband, and the husband informed her to call the ambulance, and he would straightly reach to the hospital. So when both of them reached to the hospital, she was in a very critical condition, and she was straightly admitted to the ICU. And after that, when the condition was out of control, she was admitted to the operation theatre after midnight, and the operation was started, wherein a junior resident doctor, which was Dr. Ronald Singh, was appointed to handle the case. And he asked the Dr. Rohit, who is the complainant in the present case, to get the medicine from the and got it injected by an intern doctor. Yes, he gave the injection to the intern doctor, and he injected the injection. And after that, the baby, and after that, they called the senior doctor to perform a cesarean operation, and then the baby was born as a stillborn. If your lordships are satisfied, may the council proceed with the arguments.
Yeah, please proceed.
Memorial submission. cater to inexpensive justice as well as speedy justice, then
Council debars an affected person or consumer from going to the civil court. Are they parallel proceedings?
Indeed not. It does not. When a specialized forum is available to go, then they should have approached the National Consumer Forum when they are alleging that there was deficiency in service. And a doctor and patient relationship falls within the meaning of definition of consumer under the Consumer Protection Act. And when we have a specialized forum, we should have utilized the services of the same and approached the forum.
Supposing that there was a case of medical negligence and both doctors as well as the hospitals are vicariously liable. Don't they have that kind of remedy under the law?
Indeed, sir, they have. And when the relationship falls under the relationship of a consumer and that of a seller, then they should have approached it. And in the case of Dear Lordship, in the case of Kusum Sharma versus Batra Hospital, which is on flag number 3, it says that every act done by a doctor is included in service, which is defined under section.
Just conclude yourself in 10 seconds. Conclude yourself.
The council would also like to state that Dr. Ronak is not liable for delegating his work to Vakil Khosla. The medical council regulations states that internship is a phase of training wherein a graduate is expected to conduct actual practice of medical and health care and acquire skills under supervision so that she may become capable of functioning independently. Therefore, no wrong was done by Dr. Ronak in delegating the work to the intern doctor as per Medical Council of India Regulations of Graduate Medical Education 1997. Further, to state the relationship that exists between a doctor and a hospital. In the case of Indian Medical Association versus BP Shanta, which is on flag number 3, services rendered by medical practitioners are of a personal nature. They cannot be treated as contracts of personal service. They are contracts for service under which a doctor too can be sued for consumer protection codes. So the hospital cannot be held liable for the act of the doctor. Further, which was signed by Dr. Rohit, doctors are imposed with the duty to take the consent of patient before performing acts like surgical operations and in some cases treatments as well. Any act that requires contact with the patient has to be.
While the consent was given,
Duty of care is imposed upon the doctors in taking patients' consent moreover, being aware of the fact that Dr. Rohit was a doctor, it is self-evident that he was aware of the complications and required further. This duty does not extend to warning a patient of all the normal attendant risks of an operation. The standard care required of a doctor while obtaining consent is again that of reasonable care, which was duly done by Dr. Ronak Singh.
thank you very much. The next council, please.
Your Lordship, the council seeks permission to apply. Can I?
Please, you can dispense with it.
Your Lordship, much has been said till now about what all has been done wrong by my learned friends. Council want to draw the attention of the honourable bench to one particular issue, that whether Dr. Tamanna and Dr. Rohit are collectively jointly liable for the death of the baby. Your Lordship, everything which happens for a cause. And it, for example, if a tree even grows, there is a seed which has been planted in the past which leads to the growth of that particular tree. Similarly here, a fact or a chain of incidents have been established since the starting which led to the ultimate and fateful consequence, that is a stillborn baby. Herein I will be dealing with the point that negligent act of Dr. Tamanna. Your Lordship, it has been well stated in the
Everything happens for a cause.
Your Lordship, I'll be coming to that point within my submission only by developing of 2 hours. Your Lordship, I would like to draw the attention that it is well known to every doctor, even to a basic medical practitioner, that painkillers consist of teratogenic drugs, which are the basic component of any painkiller, which has been termed as a specific drug prohibited during for a woman during pregnancy. Here only it shows that the painkillers which were already bad for Dr. Tamanna, she took them, and that too at an interval of 2 hours.
Learned counsel. Did your doctor inquire?
Indeed, Lordship, as my co-counsel stated, that proper care and caution was taken. At the
Did they inquire? It's a very specific question.
Yes,
Did
indeed,
they inquire
Lordship.
from Dr. Tamanna that
Indeed.
have you taken painkiller?
Indeed, Lordship.
And once they were aware that the painkiller were already there, have they taken any precaution against that?
Indeed, Lordship. I'll be proving the same in my
And
latest.
have you saw any cause and effect relationship between this painkiller and what has
Indeed,
happened?
Lordship. Indeed, Lordship.
Have you saw it anywhere?
Indeed.
Cause and effect relationship.
Indeed, Lordship.
I will not see it. Please help me to
The
find
same will be
it.
reflected in the arguments of the council.
I want to see in the mail also, my dear friend.
Your Lordship, this painkiller was something which is.
You did not answer my question. I am saying that I want to see it in your submission also, which you have given to me.
Your Lordship, when I would like to build upon that argument by of injection to her, it was all because that when Dr. Tamanna came to the hospital, a preliminary examination was conducted, whether what all drugs are there in her body, what all she has consumed, which are generally done before performing an operation. So similarly, due care and caution was taken by conducting a preliminary test, and at that stage only, the doctor diagnosed that there were excessive painkiller in her blood, which was teratogenic and which is banned for a pregnant lady.
Where it is written? You are required to go in research. You are required to go in research.
That's what.
So please help us.
That's what the council is
They
reflecting.
have written it.
Your Lordship, whatever caused the injury, even though there was no specific event of the act of negligence, so without negligence, the accident would not have been happened. So in this particular case, that when Mr. Rohit went to the being a medical professional, so I would like to refer to the case where Jacob Matthew versus State of Punjab. Over there, if Your Lordship may refer to page number. Flag number 7, page para 19, it clearly states that a professional is called a professional for a reason. Like we are called lawyers for a reason. Why? Because we possess certain special skills which a layman does not have. So, and simply waiving off the duty that since the injection got exchanged at the point of paying payment.
Let the counsel get you brief.
Similar, so that
Injection was given to you. He brought one injection that was given to you. Ultimately, you had to take decision. You had to apply your mind. Did you apply your mind that time?
You gave the overdose to that lady.
Particular situation, it was an accident. Why? Which was in the triggering factor was the act of Dr. Rohit. I'll apply the doctrine of caveat emptor use or not.
That what medicine is giving.
Indeed.
You are a doctor.
Indeed.
And you expect patient to be aware of you.
Yeah, but in Your Lordship,
And this is not question between shopkeeper and buyer.
Indeed.
It is question between two
Indeed,
doctors.
Lordship. But Your Lordship, please appreciate the fact.
Yes, please. It's called rejoin. Yes. But you have to be free and make sure that you take care of all the competition after they are transferred.
Your Lordship, it is cited in the page number 10 of the opponent's memorial that the doctor, Lordship, in criminal negligence, mens rea plays a very important role. Here, the doctor has done without any intention to harm because he was negligent in the duty of care he has.
Had he done with intention, it would have been murder.
That's a murder. That's a murder.
Section 304A.
Contributory negligence.
Your Lordship, regarding the painkillers were taken
There is no principle of contributory negligence.
Your Lordship, the painkillers were taken far before Tamanna was given the wrong injection. There's a book called Drugs in Pregnancy and Lactation by Briggs, Gigi, Freeman, Arcane and Yaffe. 20 states that the effect of painkillers, the fact is silent about what type of painkiller is given to Tamanna,
But she is a doctor, MBBS doctor. She knows very well. She took painkillers herself. So how can they be held liable for that?
Indeed, Your Lordship, the effect of the painkiller ceases within the surgery was performed at 2 and the baby was delivered at 3. Hence, between those timings, the effect of the painkillers would have ceased.
But then you contribute to the negligence.
The duty of the doctor to check whether the injection is right or not.
Can you take the advantage of your own wrong?
Your Lordship?
Can you take advantage of your own wrongs? Because this blunder was committed by you. You brought your wrong injection. Sir is saying that.
Your Lordship, the plaintiff was in a hurry.
And you have to file any criminal complaint, and you file a civil suit in this court. Why? Why don't you approach the police station and file a criminal complaint also?
Your Lordship, the facts have stated that Rohit Sharma has approached the honorable court to claim compensation.
What is the basis?
The injury caused, Your Lordship, the life of the fetus has been lost.
Yes. But what is the value of that?
Your Lordship, I'd like to refer GS here in Dr. Indu Sharma versus Indra Prasad.
It's your child which has died. What's the value of that?
Your Lordship?
But this time evidence should be proper and voice should be little low. We can hear you properly, don't worry.
Sir, firstly, they are claiming a compensation of 1 crore. They have not stated which civil court they are approaching. Are they approaching court of small causes? So they are asking for a compensation of 1 crore. Might have ceased out at the time of operation. So they are accepting the fact that painkiller was harmful, and at the state